Hello everyone, how's it going? It's Uncle Zonky here. So we start off another Isaac run today. I've had to rage quit 2 Isaac runs already due to, going through 2 runs so far, well 2 basement ones. It's not like I did an entire run and then had to rage quit that. No, just 2 basement ones. So it wasn't nearly as bad as I would have you think. And we already take red heart damage. Well, that means probably no deal with the double room on this floor, but that's fine. Probably. It could have been like an absolutely epic, oh, I shouldn't pick that up. I should have visited the curse room first, but oh well. But we start off with the basement XL, and I wanted to start off with the basement XL just because, well, I'm tired of not getting any items on my very first floor of the entire run. So just due to those items in the item room being absolutely terrible. So hopefully this means that there's enough rooms in this floor for me to actually get a couple reroll charges, and I'm kind of wasting reroll charges as it is, but that's how it goes sometimes. And hopefully, yeah, I'll just be able to get some reroll charges this floor, and I will be able to, reroll items a couple times, and end up, picking up something from an item room that I could actually use. That would be great, and we accidentally discovered the top secret room, which is also great. Hopefully there's something really good in here. Oh no, that's not the top secret room, that's just the regular secret room, and it only contains 3 cents within, which isn't really going to do a whole lot for me. If it was, like 15 cents, I could have visited the shop on this room. Possibly, but probably not. Well, since there is a red heart there, I think I'm just going to go ahead and go back and visit the curse room, and I will be able to heal back most of that damage that I take with that red heart eventually when I end up going back there. But I'll probably, 2 spiders, to be expected really. But I'll probably end up exploring up near the top of the map first. Unfortunately, still unable to find myself any item rooms, which means reroll charges have been wasted, but there's not really a whole lot I can do about that. The item rooms will show up whenever they decide to show up, and not before, and not after, and not really any time when I actually want them to. But hopefully there will be an item room somewhere up here. If it ends up being like the boss room up here, I could just go ahead and kill the boss and try to get a reroll off if I get something terrible from the boss. But there's our second key, which does mean I won't go key dry this floor, and I will be able to access both of the item rooms, which is a small victory in itself. And I just run into a fly there. It happens from time to time. And both item rooms are actually right next to each other, which is pretty awesome and convenient. So I should be able to get at least another couple rerolls, because I can pretty much guarantee that I'm not going to come across 2 item rooms where I want both of the items. That would be too amazing. If that actually happened to me in this game, well, I don't think that would ever really happen. Coming across 2 good item rooms without even having to reroll, that's very, very rare. It just seems like, well, speaking of something that's also very rare, we get the small rock and the key, which is great. That's 2 very good items. There's mini mush. That's speed and range up, I believe. That's actually pretty decent, so I will take that. I will be able to move faster, and I think it might have been a tears upgrade as well. It seems like my tears are shooting faster. And this green one, makes you roid rage, it makes you move faster and nothing else. Robo Baby, that's pretty decent, I guess. What I will do though is I will fight the bosses, and if the boss items are good, I will take them, and if not, I'll come back and reroll. Well, I might end up re-rolling Robo Baby. I don't know what I want to do yet, because Robo Baby is pretty decent, but it's not like the best thing in the world. It's nothing to get too excited about. Too excited over, and we get a speed down, but our speed was raised from mini mush anyway, so we're back at regular speed or something. But the problem is with the item rooms is there's just so many horrible items in the item rooms. In the item room pools, basically, most of the good items in the game seem to not be in the item room pools. So for the most part, when you open an item room, you have a much higher chance of getting something that you don't want versus something that you do want, which is really depressing, obviously. I mean, but I already do have a range up, I already do have a damage up, which is a great start. I don't have anything else to get all too excited about, but it's a lot better than nothing, I can tell you that much for sure. So it looks like we might actually be able to get another reroll out of this floor. So even if I reroll that Robo Baby and it ends up not being something I want, maybe I can get an additional reroll. Obviously, I'm not going to get a deal with the devil. I could get a deal with the devil, but the chances of that happening are very, very unlikely. But yeah, there are enough rooms left to get myself another reroll. So with that knowledge in hand, I do feel like it's actually safe for me to go reroll Robo Baby. Even though it's decent, and I have talked highly about it being a pretty good follower before in the past, I think I'm going to reroll it just because I really want a super OP item from an item room, which is pretty much just Polyphemus or the relic early on in the game can be pretty OP. Other than that, there's not really a whole lot from item rooms that you can actually get. So let's see what we get from reroll. Unicorn horn. You know, that's not a horrible spacebar item, but it's definitely not good enough to trade in the D6 for already. That's another problem with the item rooms. There are so many spacebar items in the item room pools that really becomes an issue, because for the most part you don't want spacebar items because you have the D6s, Isaac, so you don't want to be trading that out right away. Definitely not until much later on in the game, but I'll try to get myself another reroll here. And we'll go from there. Basically, I might even be able to get a couple more rerolls if every single room in the rest of the floor does contain enemies. I will be able to, because, you know, there's 2 boss rooms, so that means 2 reroll charges, and it only takes 3 rooms to recharge. Basically, but not every room contains enemies. So the plan, the epic plan that I was laying out before you, has already been ruined. So I might as well like go into my first boss room now, and use that for reroll. And I definitely want to see if it's something absolutely awful in there, like for example Cat of Nine Tails. I might want to reroll that instead of the item room, so I can, you know, have a chance of getting a health upgrade or something like that rather than nothing from the bosses, because I've learned at this point that it's in most cases much better to not take shot speed than to take it. It's in a lot of cases just like very, very bad for you actually to take shot speed upgrades, because they can cause a lot of detriment to your character. They make it a lot harder to aim shots if you're trying to like shoot monsters through gaps and stuff like that. Much more difficult to aim shots. Also, if you have something like the lump of coal, shot speed makes lump of coal a much worse item. Like, it's actually a really good item if you have no shot speed. And if you have a couple shot speed ups, the lump of coal makes it, well, if you have a couple shot speed ups, it makes the lump of coal pretty much not a very good item, because of reasons. So we get a range up from the first boss fight. I think that's good enough to take, even though my range is pretty decent as it is. It's not quite cross room range. I personally like having cross room range. So I will in fact take that, and I'll go back and reroll my item room and take whatever the item room is, as long as it's not a spacebar item. So fingers crossed, hoping I don't get myself a spacebar item, but with this game's troll engine, I wouldn't be very surprised if it gives me one, and then I'll obviously regret my decision to not take the Robo Baby immensely. But let's go ahead and pick Unicorn Horn up, because you can find this in like the secret room item pool, and this way I won't find it in the secret room item pool. And of course it is another spacebar item. Like, why would it not be another spacebar item? There are so many spacebar items in the item room pool. It's a little bit ridiculous. That needs to be nerfed. But regardless, we'll head back down to the bosses with nothing really that great so far, but I do have the small rock, so that's like a 2 damage up, which is actually somewhat decent. And who knows, I mean, I might kill the next boss and get like a pentagram or a super bandage or something like that. That's actually pretty good. I will explore this last room. The reason why I'm exploring this last room is unbeknownst to me, but I just decided that it might actually be a good idea. So I'll go ahead and do that, and yeah, you know, see what there is. Maybe I'll get like a dime drop in here and be able to visit the shop. It could happen. It's very extremely unlikely, but you never want to rule these things out. That's how you win, by being lucky in this game, basically. But yeah, let's go ahead and take this range upgrade. Fight the last boss. Hopefully it's not a horseman. I just really want a pentagram or a health upgrade. Either one would be fine. So it's not a horseman. It's in fact Monstro instead of being a horseman. So Monstro can be a bro sometimes. It feels like most of the time when I do get the pentagram, it usually happens on like basement 1. I almost always get it like really early in the game. It seems to be one of the rarer boss drops. I don't know exactly what the rarest boss drop is. Probably Jesus Juice, in all honesty, because I very rarely pick that up. So Jesus Juice would be a great drop to get as well. Just anything that helps your damage. I think those are the only 2 boss drops that actually do help your damage, like regular boss drops. Obviously there's stuff like Gish that are, you know, specific boss drops, but my damage has actually turned out to be really good. And I managed to pick up a devil room, so I wasn't expecting that to happen. Got myself a couple soul hearts here. Let's see what this pill is, or card is. 2 diamonds. If I double that, I would be at 14 cents, which still isn't enough to access the shop. I'm gonna go ahead and use that. Bombs are key. Well, I had 4 bombs and 4 keys anyway, so that effectively does nothing. I'll take the pinky eye anyway. If this is Krampus, it'll help me out. It's not Krampus, but we do get the mark and Whore of Babylon. I don't want Whore of Babylon, but I will take the mark. Feeling a little bit risky here. It is a full damage up, which is great. The only problem with that is it does put me on very low life. So let's go ahead and access the item room, which is scapular. that's actually probably a really good idea with how low my health is at the moment, so I'll go ahead and take that. But as you can see, my tiers are actually quite large. The only problem is I really need some health. Not really in a great situation right now health-wise. So that needs to change very soon. I've already like hemorrhaged a full soul heart out of the 3 that I had, but I do get a golden key. It would have been nice to have picked that up a little bit earlier, but whatever. So I'm gonna have to play really, really well for a while to survive, and then end up later on getting lucky and you know, getting some health drops. That's pretty much the only way that this run is going to turn out to be a success. So that's basically what I'm hoping for, is just, you know, some easy rooms and then some really good play. Getting hit by greed heads is not what I would really classify as great play, but lost some sense there. But I mean, I do have this 2 diamonds card, so as long as I pick up a couple more cents, I should be able to access the shop on this floor, which would be great. So I hope that ends up happening. Just 1 more cent is all I need to access the shop. But I think we're actually going to be playing this beggar instead. I'll just go ahead and use the 2 diamonds right here. Is that a waste? Possibly. It is Mom's coin purse, which could be great, could be horrible. Balls of steel, that's definitely not horrible. Health up, again. Looking really good so far. Speed down. Oh, so I've had 3 speed downs, including the small rock. I've had the small rock and 2 speed down pills, and then bad gas. But I think overall, you know, we come out on top, 2 soul hearts and a heart container. So I don't think that's bad in any sense of the word. Please be 2 cents. It is not 2 cents. Well, I'm gonna need 2 cent drops at least to access the shop on this floor, unless of course the shop is on sale, but you can't really count on that happening. And I already have had Mom's coin purse, which means that it can't show up in the shop, which is actually good, because that's one of those items I'm not too crazy about when it does show up in the shop. So I'd much prefer that it doesn't, and in that case, you know, there's going to be more good shop items possibly in the pool. So maybe like a 9-volt or something like that. I also have a reroll that I could use on the shop. I'll go ahead and go in there, and it is in fact the battery. So I do want that. It is 15 cents though. So I'm going to have to either find the secret room or get lucky with cent drops. And if that doesn't wind up happening, that is not secret room, unfortunately. If that doesn't wind up happening, probably what I'll do is I'll just pick up that soul heart, because I do desperately need health as well. So please die, don't hurt me. There's 1 cent, one out of the 2 cents that we need for that battery, which just is going to make my spacebar items recharge faster. The battery basically, it gives you, I think it's random or it might be time-based, but when there are enemies in a room and you're moving around the room, it gives you charges on your, whatever your spacebar item happens to be. In my case, it's a D6. So we're only at 14 cents, which means that the secret room is going to have to be here if I want to pick up that battery. And it's not there, which means it's not in either of the likely locations. Where else could the secret room be? I really have no idea. I'm going to check one last place, though, next to the curse room, because secret rooms are often next to curse rooms. I could, of course, go in the curse room and check that way. But I don't really want to lose any more health right now, so I did luck out. I did happen to get the secret room, and there is enough money in there to pick up that battery, which is great. And that also means that I do have a reroll for the boss on this floor if the boss on this floor happens to be something bad that I don't want. But I'll be able to pick up the battery and the soul heart, which just means I will get some charges for this D6 just while running around. So if I run across floors later on in the game, or if I pick up a really good spacebar item later on in the game, that will end up being a good thing. And I'll also buy this just in case. It's an unknown pill. I don't know if I want to take that. I might hold on to it, and then like if my health gets down to like 1 heart left, I'll just go ahead and eat it. And then if it's like a bad trip pill, it'll heal me to full, which wouldn't be a bad idea. But I know it's not health up, and I know it's not range up, because I've already had a range up, I believe. I have, haven't I? And I've already had a balls of steel, so pretty much the only really good pill it could be is tears up, but I don't want to count on that happening because it's probably not the case. And this room is not going so well so far. I was really hoping that bomb would do more damage to the hollow than it did. I mean, it did some damage to the hollow, but it didn't do a lot. And these hollows are just like complete trolls. They don't normally like converge on you, both of them at the same time like they did, but got hit 3 times in this hollow fight, which is really not what I want to be seeing. That's a little bit dangerous. I do wind up getting a health upgrade though, so I'm not going to be re-rolling that. So I'm back up to 3 health. I've earned back all of that health that I spent on the mark, which is great. And we do have a Curse of Darkness on Catacombs too, which is not as great, but I run across my shop right away. Even though I probably won't wind up accessing that shop since it's Curse of Darkness, which makes it really hard to find the secret room, and I only have, well, I only have 3 cents, which again isn't really enough to buy anything in the shop. But I already do have the battery, which is a pretty good item, I would say. Even though it's very rare, I almost never pick up the battery, so it is quite rare to actually see me pick that up. I think I've only gotten the battery once before, possibly. I don't know exactly how much that has happened. So Greedhead room, unfortunately, that's not a good thing, but it is probably the easiest layout of all the Greedhead rooms. In that, well, Greedheads can't hurt you if you just stand completely still, normally. There are some times, though, where I have had, like, their tears hit me, even though they're not supposed to be able to. Kind of just the game's troll engine again. One of these pills I know for a fact is good. I believe one of these is either Balls of Steel or Health Up, so I think it's definitely worth it. It's not this one. This is the Speed Down pill, so I don't want to take that, but I will go ahead and go in my item room. And we'll come across the Necronomicon, which is a decent item, I suppose, if you're a character other than Isaac, but for Isaac, it's not so great. Charm of the Vampire, not a big fan. I believe, pretty sure this pill is either Health Up or Balls of Steel. I'm kind of hoping for Health Up, actually, but either way, I would be happy if I got it. And it is Balls of Steel. Okay, so I knew for a fact one of those 2 blue pills was a pretty good one, so I will be taking that. And yeah, I used 2 bombs for 2 soul hearts there, but overall, I think that was probably pretty worth it. If I could just stop losing soul hearts, I'd be in a great situation right now, but you know, I'm just losing them left and right. Again, hemorrhaging health, that's pretty much like, if you could have a username in Isaac, mine would be hemorrhaging health or hemorrhaging soul hearts, because I lose soul hearts like crazy. Not so much health. Like, if you ever notice how I play, when I'm on red hearts, I can dodge damage so much better, but for whatever reason, when I have these soul hearts, I just get this, you know, confidence about me that's not a good thing. It's not a healthy confidence. Often confidence can be a healthy thing, but in this case, it's not. And we recharge the D6 just after 2 rooms because the battery, again, it helps me recharge a bit faster. Reroll Charm of the Vampire. And we get little Chub, you know, guy, little red guy. I don't exactly know what his name is. I'm pretty sure it's Chad, actually, but he's horrible. One of the worst familiars in the game, and the reason for that is because he can actually make other drop-in familiars that are actually decent, like the bomb bag, and such like that. Actually worse, because he makes them, and the relic as well, if I end up picking up the relic, which I may or may not happen, but he makes familiars like that worse, and unfortunately I took like 3 hits on that floor. That was a little ridiculous. But he makes them worse because he makes them drop less often, and I got hung up there on this little, you know, gap in the floor. So again, like, I thought it was really good health situation wise not very long ago. All of a sudden the health situation is not looking so hot. But I do have another reroll again after just 2 rooms because of the battery, which is awesome. If I could like get enough money for the shop and pick up the 9-volt and get a reroll like after every single room, that would be epic. But we'll see how it goes. Let's go ahead and reroll little Chad. Get the wafer, which is a great drop. I'll take that. That's damage resistance, and what that means is any monster that would normally damage you for a full heart of damage, like for example Globins, when they run into you, they deal an entire full heart of damage to you. That is only half a heart of damage now, and that includes all the enemies on the womb. Normally when you get into the womb and beyond, everything does an entire full heart of damage to you, but now it's all half a heart of damage, and that also works on Isaac. So if I wind up making it to Isaac this run, he will only do half a heart of damage to me with every single hit, which is, you know, actually a really good thing to have. So I just want to find my boss room now. I want to stop messing around with rooms that aren't the boss room and wind up finding the boss room. That would be great if that could happen, game, so make it happen. Unfortunately, like, my tiers, I thought they were pretty good because they're actually quite large and also red, and normally it's a pretty good indicator of your tiers being great, but it's still, like, I haven't even been able to kill spiders in 1 hit. So when you can, like, kill spiders and flies in 1 hit, like the regular flies, these are eternal flies, obviously they have a lot more health, but the regular flies, usually that's a pretty good indicator of your damage being up to par where you want it to be. But unfortunately my damage is not in that situation. That looks like a boss trap room, because I can't go in there even though I'm full health, where a mob trap room is a place that you can go in only if you have full health. So those are the difference between the 2 trap rooms, I guess. In case you didn't know that, boss trap rooms usually have much better drops in them, but they're a little more difficult because you have to fight bosses instead of just normal mobs. And the bosses that you fight depended on the level of floor that you're on. Like later on in the game, you have to fight more difficult ones. Like I know on the depths you have to fight Peep and then someone else. But our boss is going to be the Husk, which is good. But at the same time, I don't have an orbital yet. I don't need one yet, but it's very, very important to have at least one orbital when you go into the Isaac fight. Again, if I make it to the Isaac fight, that's not a guaranteed thing by any stretch of the imagination. But it is incredibly important that you do have that orbital once you get that far into the game. So there are games where sometimes it seems like this game, it either gives you a bunch of orbitals or it gives you no orbitals, at least in my experience. So either I'm going to get no orbitals, or I'm going to get 3 or 4 in one run. And you don't want 3 or 4. You want 2 orbitals is the absolute perfect amount. And if you get more than that, you know, it's fair, but you'd rather just have less. Okay, so we see Guppy's Paw here, which I can't pick up. Spirit of the Night, which, I don't know. I'm not going to pick that up because it's too hard, so I'm going to reroll that. The only way I'd pick that up is if it was Brimstone, but it's not, so we're going to proceed down to the next floor. And luckily, not have a Curse of Darkness on this floor, but it is Necropolis 1, red chest for a mob trap room, not worth it at all. Not by any stretch of the imagination, so I'm not going to be even touching that with a 10-foot pole. But basically, you know, unfortunately, like, my health isn't really to the situation where I want to take any deals with the devil right now, because I feel like if I did, my health would start to get a little bit too low. Again, like, I'm almost out of all those soul hearts. Just a floor ago, I had masses and masses of soul hearts, and now they're just all gone. So I'm going to have to live off just these 4 red hearts. Again, for whatever reason, I just lose soul hearts like crazy. And as soon as I run out of soul hearts, I do so much better at avoiding taking damage. For whatever reason why that is, you know, scholars all over the world have yet to determine exactly what causes this strange phenomenon, but it's kind of how it works. But this room, again, kind of annoying just because these guys, these vomiting grimaces, are often quite frustrating. So I'm actually out of bombs. I was going to check there for the secret room, but I have no bombs left, which means that that's not a possibility. But I do run across my item room right away, which, you know, well, I mean, I'd prefer not to have to use any rerolls on it at all, because I'd prefer it just to be a great item off the bat. But the odds of that happening are actually fairly slim, so I'm probably going to have to go in the item room and see what's up, and probably reroll it. But the earlier on in the floor you find the item room, the higher chance you have of actually getting an item inside that item room that's not terrible. So we get a space bar item here, and you always want to pick this up, remote detonator, because when you pick it up, it gives you 5 bombs, and then I reroll it. And chocolate milk, no thanks. Chocolate milk is decent, but I don't want to use it just because it increases your fire rate, because you can manually press the button. Like, you can spam the button and it'll fire as fast as your finger can press. However, I don't want to go down that route, because it's really annoying to press, and it also doesn't, it increases your damage a little bit, but not a ton. So we got an NV fight, which unfortunately, since it's a mini boss, I can't bomb my way out of the fight. I actually have to do the fight. If I place a bomb down by the door and it explodes, the door won't open. Trust me, just take my word for it. I've tried it before. Which means that this is going to suck, but it is a long fight, which does mean that maybe I'll be able to get some more reroll charges because of my battery, which could be a good thing. If I could get like a full 4 reroll charges during this fight. I've had 2 already. I just need, oh my goodness, that was so stupid. I just need 2 more. I don't think I'll get them during this room. I mean, I could just like wait while there's 1 NV head left, and then just like run around the room and wait for my battery to reroll charge up. Actually, I might do that, since I only need 1 more to actually get a full reroll after this room, and then I can just go back to my item room and immediately reroll. So it shouldn't take too long to get this last reroll charge. Just knowing me, actually, I'm probably going to be really stupid and just like run into the NV head. So as long as I run around while this NV head, I think this is how it works. I don't know if you have to like just be in the room while there's an enemy active, or if you actually have to run around or what, but, or maybe you have to be shooting. I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure this should give me a reroll charge eventually with the battery. Come on, buddy, I need you. 5 reroll charges or 5 charges on my D6 isn't going to do me any good. I need 6, which means I need you to recharge once more. Do I have to like shoot at the enemy? I don't know. Screw it. I'll just do 1 more room and recharge my dice that way. But that was annoying. I just didn't want to wait forever because that's boring for both you and me, all viewers watching, as well as the guy playing. Not very fun to just walk around a room shooting in random directions while waiting for your spacebar item to charge. But after this room, which could have been a problematic room but ended up not being one, there we go. The dice is fully charged now. So blue pill, I'm pretty sure that pill is speed down. Unfortunately, I think the one that's like half light blue, half dark blue, yeah, this is speed down. Speed down has been the most common pill in the rotation for me. Like, of course, I have health up and balls of steel and range up in the rotation, and the most common one is speed down. Why that is that way, I don't know, but you know, it's the way it has to be, I guess. This is one of those runs where I really wish I was running into more pills, because there have been some really good ones in the rotation. But Ghost Baby, you know, if I don't take that, I'm probably gonna end up regretting it. So, fine. It's not great. It does base damage tiers, but it can fire through rocks. So, if you come across a room with like a whole bunch of fish guys in it, and I guess fish guys can shoot through rocks, but if you come across a room with like a bunch of greed heads in it, and the only thing between you and them is rocks, this can prove mildly useful. I mean, and it's just more tiers shooting at enemies, so as long as those tiers make contact with the enemies that you're shooting them at, it is a damage up, basically, even though it's not a great damage up, because it's just base damage. Base familiar damage, I should say, not base damage. Not like Isaac base damage. If it was shooting Isaac base damage tiers, that would be pretty good, but it's just shooting familiar base damage tiers. Well, this room is pretty much impossible to not take damage on without orbitals, which I don't have. But there we go. I lost like a full 2 hearts on that, which isn't fun, but hopefully I actually don't end up dying on this room or on this floor. I can say that for a fact. Whoop. Okay, that was a little too close for comfort. That was way too close for comfort. Losing some health here, which is not good. The rest of this room should be fairly easy. I don't know if I should waste the time walking all the way back up to that indie fight room just for a red heart, so I'm not going to do it. Even though it's probably in my best interest to do that, but I'm not going to bother taking the time for that because that takes a long time. I almost got hung up on that rock there and damaged, but luckily I was able to avoid it. Oh, that's stupid. That is stupid. And that's stupid as well. So I got hit a couple times there. The first time, that was just dumb. That was me not moving fast enough. The second time, I have no idea how I got hit because I was pretty sure I was far enough away to not get hit. But those would have killed me if it wasn't for the wafer. Because the wafer means that you only take half a heart of damage. And normally those shots do a full heart of damage. But for me, they're only doing half a heart of damage because of the wafer. So let's go back and pick up this red heart. And I gotta say, this is probably... Okay, last run was really, really bad in terms of not taking damage. Last run I was horrible, but I gotta say, this run is probably the worst run I've had in a long, long time, just in terms of not taking damage. I think a big part of it is actually, I don't want to be making too many excuses here, but I have this new mic, and for whatever reason, the mic is so quiet. I've tried to turn it up. It's basically boosted to max on the mic settings itself, and I've gone into the properties, you know, under the control panel and turned mic up to 100%, like as loud as it will go. And it has a little volume button on itself, and I've turned the mic volume as loud as it can possibly go before it starts to sound bad because it's too loud, and still it's just so quiet, and I don't exactly know what to do. I've tried messing around a bit in like Audacity. Normally I just record sound with Camtasia, and that's what I'm doing right now. I tried messing around with the mic a little bit in Audacity, but it doesn't seem to make too much of a difference. Like, it's still just, the mic is still just incredibly quiet for whatever reason. And so what that means is basically I have to like hunch over my keyboard in, the most uncomfortable position you could possibly think of. Like, it absolutely just kills my elbows sitting in this position. But because I have such a small desk, such a small playing surface actually, which my computer is on, this is the only real way I can make it work. So I just have to sit in a really, really awkward position, and it does make the game harder to control, like a lot harder to control compared to my last audio recording device, which was just a headset, so I could sit however I wanted and just, you know, have it over my head. But, you know, I think this mic overall sounds a lot better. But that's the problem. Again, we find that, not again, but for the first time during this run, we find the top secret room by complete accident. I did find a normal secret room by complete accident earlier on in this room. And there's an eternal heart there, which I will be coming back for you, good sir. But I'm not going to be I'm not going to be picking that up yet because I don't want to lose it on the boss fight. But regardless, I am going to be moving out to a new house in a few days, actually. So what is today, Sunday? It's not going to be Sunday when I upload this video because I pre-record everything. So every time you see a video, it's probably like recorded 5-6 days in advance. But yeah, by the time this video is up, I should be in the new house. And what that means is, well, hopefully I'll be able to get it all set up so that it's a lot better of a, you know, setup for me to record on, and I don't have to like be all hunched over my desk just to make it work. So got hit by the horseless headman. That's what we agreed upon to call these things, because, you know, there's no horse, so why would you call them a horseman? I've never really understood that, because I've always heard these guys called headless horsemen. I think that's actually their official name, but there's no horse, so the logic just isn't there. And we end up fighting the Fallen, oh my goodness, which could be bad, because I've had a couple speed downs, and as you guys know, well, you may or may not know, but the Fallen charges at you, and when he charges at you, if you've had speed downs, you can't avoid it, basically. So he's pretty much like a guaranteed hit if you have had those speed downs. So basically my best bet here is just hope that he doesn't use the charge attack very often. You just saw it there, but luckily he split into two just after using the charge attack, so he didn't end up hitting me. But yeah, like if both these things charge me at once, both these little mini Fallens, I'm pretty much screwed because I have had the speed down. Luckily that guy charged me for a little bit and then ended up using his laser right away. So yeah, I got hit by that Fallen there just because it's trying to maneuver. Again, like, having speed down in this game just sucks, but it has been a very common pill for me this rotation. So I ended up getting money equals power, which is decent in some situations. The problem is I'm only at 3 cents and I'm already getting kind of late in the game, so I'm going to re-roll it. Oh, that was a mistake. That was so stupid. But I basically re-rolled it hoping for Brimstone or Spear of the Night or something like that. So yeah, the reason why I re-rolled that is because I only have 3 cents. It's very, very unlikely that I'm going to run across a humongous store of cents. You know, farther on in this game, maybe I could open up a secret room with a bunch of cents in it, but it's unlikely that I'm going to get a ton of cents. So the best money equals power could possibly do for me was maybe like a damage up. Oh wow. And of course immediately I run into a secret room with a whole bunch of cents in it just to prove me wrong even more. But I am going to go into the shop now with this cents. And I mean, I have Guppy's Tail, which isn't horrible. Okay, yeah, it is actually pretty horrible. But Guppy's Tail is going to make chests spawn a lot more often for me. So I have a decent amount of keys, so running across a bunch of gold chests wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, I don't think. I'm going to pick up this treasure map. I am going to pick up this card, which just ends up being a Wheel of Fortune, which isn't the most exciting thing in the world, but I might as well just put the rest of my money in here, hope for some red hearts. There we go, exactly just as I asked for. And you know, after I put all my money into it, I'm gonna blow it up. Another cent, which means another play on the slot machine, and I'll blow it up. Oh, more cents. Okay, so the game just wants me to keep playing. Free bomb, I'll take it any day of the week. That bomb is going to be used to blow you up, those slot machines, so I hope that you're aware of that. And got another couple bombs from blowing up the slot machine. So overall, I think that was a pretty good slot machine, as slot machines go. And I might as well go blow up this other slot machine that's up near the top here, and then I will grab my Eternal Heart and move down to the next floor. Again, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if someone in the comments, oh yeah, the slot machine is behind. Well, I don't want to waste a bomb or a key just to blow that slot machine up, so never mind. But I'm sure someone in the comments will probably get mad and say, oh, you should have taken money equals power, it's really good. But the thing is, like, money equals power only gets really good if you have a lot of money. And the most it gets to is 3.5 damage if you have 99 cents. Roughly, it's not exactly 3.5 damage, but it's like 3.48, something like that. I don't know the exact number, but it's in that range. But that's the best money equals power ever gets, which admittedly, that's really good. That's a lot of damage. But it's very, very unlikely that I'm going to get 99 cents. Pretty much the only way that would happen is if I wound up playing a slot machine and getting the dollar bill. So I'd have to rely on some extreme crazy luck to actually make money equals power good. So that's why I re-rolled it, basically just hoping for Brimstone or Spear of the Night, or what else would be good? I don't know. There's a few other items that I would take that would be pretty decent. But yeah, you know, that's basically why I re-rolled it. Let's head down to Necropolis 2. Looking at a fairly good situation, health-wise and damage-wise and all, but fortunately, I should say, we run across my item right away, and it's a Yum Heart, so I'll just go ahead and use that to heal 1 heart. And then hopefully I'll be able to get a reroll charge after a couple rooms. Again, I have my battery, so I should be getting reroll charges faster than, you know, the average bear would. Unfortunately, the battery didn't activate this room, but I do get a golden chest, which, you know, I do have some keys. I don't have a mass amount of keys, so I can't go too crazy when it comes to golden chests. But golden chests will be appearing actually quite a bit more often. I've had Guppy's tail before, and it does make a pretty big difference when it comes to the amount of chests that spawns. So that can be a great thing, especially if you have a lot of keys. If you have like skeleton key during a run and then Guppy's chest, can be a really good combo together. And here's another golden chest. We get our key back. Another thing with golden chests is they do drop keys fairly often. So even though I'm going to be using a lot of keys on golden chests, a lot of them are going to come back to me just because I'll be getting a lot of keys in return. So we're up to 10 cents already, which means I only need 5 more cents to access the shop. And the way things are going so far this floor, if golden chests keep appearing as commonly as they have been, getting another 5 cents shouldn't be very hard at all. PhD, better pills, no. That's an amazing pickup early in the game, but the problem is I'm already pretty late in the game, so I'm not going to run across a couple pills, and I already know what the good pills in the rotation are. I think there's only 2 pills that I haven't identified so far, so another golden chest with a reroll pedestal in it. So, you know, if we reroll that PhD and it ends up being something good, or actually I could just reroll that Tammy's head, and then just use that as my reroll pedestal during this floor, and then if I end up like not getting anything good the entire floor and wasting all my rerolls, at the end I can just take the PhD, and at the very least that will make that speed down in the rotation as speed up, because my speed isn't great and I would like to increase my speed if at all possible. So, you know, again, I'm trying to play a little bit smarter. And I'll open up my shop because, well, it's super green, so that's really not what I wanted to see in the shop. But the earlier on you open up the shop during the floor, like the less money you have when you open up the shop, the better, because the more money that you have when you open up the shop, the higher chance you have of spawning greed. And unfortunately, this is the last shop of the game, which means that there won't be any more shops in this game. You know, if you didn't figure that out by this point, I feel sorry for you. You must be new to Isaac, which isn't the worst thing in the world. And we get the 25-cent piece. Oh my goodness, this game is just slamming that bad decision to reroll. It's just saying, you know, you rerolled money equals power and you shouldn't have, and we're gonna tell you why you shouldn't have. But I'm gonna go ahead and reroll this. Oh great, Steam sale, wonderful. I'm pretty sure that you can reroll that and it won't always be Steam sale. Like, I'm pretty sure that quarter is a, you know, a reroll pedestal. And the reason why I rerolled that is there's no more shops in the game. You know, the only thing that I can really use money for in this game ever again is arcades, which, you know, I may or may not run across, but I'm not too crazy about those. So, I mean, maybe fortune teller machines is really the only decent use I have for money left in the entire game, and I should get a fair amount of cent drops. So I have 3 reroll pedestals now. Unfortunately, they're all in different rooms, which is bad, but that is how it is sometimes. Okay, so a room with a whole bunch of knights in it. Not a huge fan of this room particularly, but I do have Pinky Eye, which does admittedly make knights a lot easier to deal with than they normally are, because normally they're kind of difficult to deal with, you know, when you don't have the tears ability to shoot them directly in the face. You basically have to try to shoot them either in the side or in the back of the head. The best way to deal with knights, I think that I've heard of personally, is you walk alongside them and then try to shoot them in the side of the head. But another pretty easy way to do it is just, if you have Pinky Eye, you can just shoot them in the face and poison them and wait for the poison to take effect and eventually kill them. That wasn't a great room as rooms go, but I ended up getting a key from it and a full recharge from it. So I'm going to go back and reroll that Tammy's head. So my reroll priority is going to be Tammy's head first. I will reroll that, and then I'll be rerolling that Steam Cell second, and then finally the PhD range up. I don't think I really need that. Now that I look at it, no, I have cross-room range, so I'm going to go ahead and reroll that range up as well, because decent item, it's not horrible, but it's just not something that I really need at all. So I think I'm going to go ahead and say no thanks to the range up and try to get myself another reroll charge sooner rather than later. Would be nice. Another bomb, another key. Keys are always good when you have Guppy's tail. So I actually thought this would have been the direction to the boss room, but apparently not. Hopefully I can end up getting another reroll charge from the battery during this room, and that means I will have another reroll to use. And I keep on getting hit by these champion leapers, because I don't know why. Like, leapers are just absolutely the bane of my existence. They just destroy me. I don't know why. They're so hard to deal with for me personally, but Leapers, a monster I have always deeply struggled with. Maybe it's just like my poor depth perception or something like that. That's a horrible excuse, but reroll this. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me, game? Why must you do this? All these horrible items. That's the problem with Isaac. Okay, like Isaac, yes, he does have the ability to reroll, but it's like every time you do reroll, you just get absolute garbage in return for it. You never get anything good. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's not the same experience most people have been having. I lost a ton of health on this room, very stupidly. That probably could have been easily avoided, and I apologize for, embarrassing Isaac players the world over with bad play, but that's the way it is sometimes. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, you can reroll items as much as the amount of floors with as much as the amount of rooms with enemies in them on the floor will permit. But at the same time, like, the items are always horrible, so might even be not really the best thing, because maybe it's just me, but I have like so much better luck with Cain or Judas or Maggie when it actually comes to item rooms than I ever do with Isaac. Like, the item rooms with Isaac are always horrible. So yes, you do reroll, but at the same time, like, the stuff that you're rerolling into is just crap for the most part. Finally, a little bit of health and another reroll that we can use. Gonna reroll this Crack the Sky, because it's Crack the Sky. That is pretty much all that explains, I mean, it can be decent, it does a lot of damage, but it's very unlikely that you're actually gonna hit anything with it, and we get Doctor's Remote for rerolling, which is another reroll, so another thing to try to get some D6 charges on. And a room full of Globins. Not the best room in the world when you've had speed downs, I can say that for a fact, but one nice thing is this Picky Eye, I believe, actually when enemies are poisoned, they slowed down a bit. That's what it looks like. It seemed like that the Gazing Globins, which are normally the faster ones, like when I poisoned him, he slowed down a bit, so I don't know if that was just because of the fact that he was getting knocked back by my shots, or I don't know what it was, but okay, so this room should definitely get me another battery charge. I can't believe I got hit by guts there. I don't even want to talk about it, really. But yeah, I got another battery charge, so as soon as I finish this room, that'll be another reroll, all ready for me to use. Again, like, I'm doing a pretty good amount of damage, pretty happy with the amount of damage that I'm doing, but unfortunately just not getting the health that I so desperately need. Like, I have a good amount of heart containers, I guess, but if I could pick up Guppy's Paw or something, that would be amazing. So I'm really hoping that ends up happening. Like, I have Guppy's Tail. I don't know if having a Guppy's item increases your drop rate for future Guppy's items, because they seem really common overall. So yeah, I'll go ahead and take the Rosary. 3 soul hearts, and it means that the Bible will spawn in your next shop that you open, but there won't be any more shops in the game for me, so that doesn't really matter. I don't know if that applies to angel rooms either, but I only have devil rooms this run anyway, so that doesn't matter either. But overall, just pretty much a free 3 soul hearts, so I'll take that. And I do have another reroll pedestal to go ham at as well in that Steam sale. And I'm hoping that that quarter isn't gonna, like, if I reroll the Steam sale, it's not gonna, like, reroll back to the quarter or anything. I don't exactly know how it works, but I'm pretty sure the quarter does act like as a normal reroll pedestal, but I believe since it's in a shop, that actually means, like, when I reroll, it's going to reroll into shop items or something like that. I don't exactly know how it works. So unfortunately, I found an angel baby during this room, which is not good. Angel babies are muy no bueno. I could get another charge for my battery. There we go. That's great. That's exactly what I was hoping for there, game. Thank you very much. That might just be the turning point. The turning point in the tide. Bad gas. Well, I think that's actually qualified as a bad pill. I'm not sure. So if I picked up the PhD, would it make this a good pill? I don't know. That might be something I want to test out. I'm not sure if bad gas qualifies as a neutral pill or a bad pill, because I do know for a fact that if it's a neutral pill, PhD won't change it. But if it's actually a bad pill, then PhD might. Okay, so we get Book of Revelations here. This actually might wind up being the item that I use to replace the D6 with, because I do have the battery. Unfortunately, I don't have any more items that are going to help out, but, you know, the Book of Revelations will recharge faster because I have the battery, so that means that, I mean, if worse comes to worse, I can just, like, leave one enemy alive in a room and then just, like, run around the room. That would be a really annoying way to gain health, but that is something it is possible. It is a viable strategy. Obviously, I'm not going to do that on video because I'm not going to like submit you guys to having to watch that. But you know, if you're ever in a situation where you're just really desperate for health and you have the battery, and you have the Book of Revelations or some item like that that gives you soul hearts, like the nail, you know, that's another one, another really good one. The nail is much better than, whoa, that head went a long way. But the nail is much better than the Book of Revelations, obviously, because it also does a damage up in addition to giving you a soul heart. But I don't think we're going to be running into the nail this run. And that guy's head just detached itself from its body and chased after me. I didn't even know that was a thing, but apparently it is. I think I'm going to blow up this rock just for a red heart. Yeah, that might kind of seem like a waste, but at the same time, I need this red heart, man. I'm not doing the best when it comes to health. And I'll go back and re-roll that PhD, because I don't think it's going to change this bad gas pill. And I have a couple good pills in the rotation already. Like, I have 2 of the best pills in the rotation already that I've already discovered, so I don't even have to worry about them not being good pills. But again, Balls of Steel and Spelunker's Helmet. Well, I should get one more reroll this floor. One more shot at it. Spelunker's Helmet, I mean, I could use it to find the top secret room on this floor and the 2 womb floors that I'm coming into, and also the cathedral, I guess, as well. But overall, it's not that great. It's pretty good early on in the game. I'll give you that. Spelunker's Helmet is great early on in the game, or X-ray goggles. They pretty much do the same thing, but Spelunker's Helmet, you still need bombs when you have the Spelunker's Helmet, and with X-ray goggles, you don't. But at the same time, later on in the game, like right now, it's not really the most helpful thing in the world. Oh, this room could be potentially troublesome. Hopefully it's not. Might require some serious pro maneuvering to not get damaged on this room. I'll do my best, but no absolute guarantees. If there's any time when I really needed to play well, now would be it, because I don't want to be getting hit by these guys. Again, they have the Brimstone lasers, which are 2-tick damage, so if you get hit by both those ticks, you're going to get some serious pain directed towards your face. I'm going to go ahead and open up this golden chest, and hopefully there's something like a health upgrade inside it, but there is not. It's weird. No health up, no like really amazing golden chest yet this floor. I know you can't really expect them to happen every single floor, but at the same time, I have opened quite a few golden chests already, and there have been runs where I've opened like 3 golden chests and found like a speed up and a tears up and I don't know, a health up in those 3 chests. So Guardian Angel, awesome, awesome, awesome. So this is a rather large orbital, and it does damage when you run into enemies, and it also blocks shots. And if I run across any future orbitals, like for example, oh, I want to be taking that Book of Revelations with me. That's correct, because I want to be, that's going to be my future like go-to item. Yeah, I could keep the D6, but the only things that I'd actually be able to reroll with the D6 for the remainder of the game would be Mom's drop when I killed Mom on this floor, and also the boss drop on next floor. But I'm kind of hoping the boss drop on next floor will be Death, actually, although Death is kind of a pain. I don't know. Yeah, I think I would rather fight Death. So now that I have this Book of Revelations, that means I should fight Death next floor, which means that I will have 2 orbitals. Rotating at double speeds, they're going to be doing a great job of blocking tears, which will just make the Isaac fight so much easier now that I have this Guardian Angel. So I just recently actually unlocked the Guardian Angel, and so far I've been absolutely loving it. It's a great item. So glad to have it. So actually defensively, I gotta say we're doing really great this run because we have Guardian Angel now. Since we have the Book of Revelations, we should, unless it's the Womb XL. If it's actually, I wouldn't mind having a Womb XL either, but if it is a Womb XL, this won't apply. But if it's a Womb 1, it should at least mean that we will. I'll go ahead and use that bad gas pill to poison Mom. It should mean that we should, in fact, get a Death next floor, because the Book of Revelations means that, you know, Death spawns. So that, you know, would mean we have 2 orbitals. 2 orbitals rotating at double speed, along with Book of Revelations, along with, I don't know if I've really had any other decent defensive items this run, but I probably haven't. I'm just not thinking of them right now. But yeah, basically very good defensive run overall, and I have decent damage. Like, I'm not super OP with my damage or anything, but, you know, the damage isn't anything to scoff at. It's definitely there. It's noticeable. So, you know, using my Book of Revelations like a boss, because the battery got like a full Book of Revelations charge just in, you know, the small amount of however much I was in the last room and this room. I don't think I've been hit yet on Mom's fight, have I? Like, maybe I've taken half a heart of damage, if any, but I actually seriously don't think I've even been hit yet on this fight, which is absolutely awesome. A full Mom's heart fight. Again, I could be wrong about that. I could have been hit And if I was, I deeply apologize. But if I just went a full mom's foot fight without being hit, that I think was a first time for me personally. Although I did have an Epicac run where mom didn't hit me, but I hit myself with Epicac. So we are getting not responding, which often does lead towards Womb XL. I wouldn't mind having a Womb XL. That would be pretty cool. And we do indeed have a Womb XL. So I happen to know for a fact that, well, maybe it's not a fact, but I'm fairly certain that the Book of Revelations effect, where it normally gives you a horseman if you use it on a normal floor, does not apply to the womb. Is that pill health up? Oh, that was not worth going over the spikes for. And it's health down, actually. And yeah, I didn't pick up the PhD. I'm kind of trying to think to myself, did I pick up that PhD? Well, if I had picked up that PhD, this would have been health up, but it's whatever, I guess. It's not the end of the world. I'm just not going to take this pill, because obviously, well, why would you take a health down? And I got hit walking over the spikes, but you know, since I have the wafer, that's actually only half of a soul heart of damage done to me, because the wafer is awesome. But I don't know why this pill was identified for me, because I don't have the PhD, so I didn't pick it up anyway. I mean, I've seen it, I just haven't personally picked it up or anything. So that's a bit strange why this pill was automatically identified. I really have absolutely no idea why that happened, but I'll take it. And I am going to proceed down... Oh, 2 bloodshot eyes. I'm not liking the looks of this room, friends and foes and ladies and gentlemen alike. Oh, and another health down pill. Really? Okay, well, the game earlier was like rubbing my face how I should have taken the money equals power, because it was giving me all this money, and now it's giving me these health down pills. Oh my goodness, it's just all these bad decisions. I thought that leaving the PhD on the ground wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but it turns out that actually that may have been the worst decision I made this game, along with not taking money equals power. But you know, I have had a lot of golden chests because of that Guppy's tail, and admittedly none of those golden chests none of those golden chests, they have yet to pay out with anything that amazing, but they have been there. So, well, that's the world card. That's pretty nice. It reveals to me where the boss rooms were, and I was heading in the right direction anyway. So, oh my goodness. Okay, not a good time. Not a good time. Double Gertie Juniors. Out of all the rooms in the world, why did it have to be double Gertie Juniors? I really didn't. I thought this was like a cathedral room, or even a chest room in terms of difficulty, but on the womb, man, I think this is the first time I've ever found this room on the womb itself. I have seen this room in the cathedral. I've just never seen this room in the womb, because holy crap, this sucks. Okay, well, I took like 4 or 5 hits. Okay, that definitely makes it at least 5. But I got a couple soul hearts from that room, so I healed back like 4 out of those 5 hits that I took. But still, oh my goodness. Near heart attack there, near cardiac arrest. Okay, this room is not a good time either. Taking hit after hit after hit. Normally this is a very, very easy room, but just the layout of this room, the amount of like troll rocks that there are in this room are just awful. We go ahead and open that up, get a whole bunch of bombs, which is nice for the Mom's Heart fight that is coming up, I guess, but not really all that great for anything else. And let's head into the fight, and it's Loki too, so, you know, one of the easiest bosses, which I guess is okay. I mean, it's a very easy boss, but at the same time, I won't be getting my second orbital unless I somehow happen to run into, like, Halo of Flies during this run, although I don't know if you can get that in a golden chest. That would probably be my only hope of getting Halo of Flies in a golden chest, because, of course, there's no more item rooms for the rest of the run. But I don't know how else I would get another orbital. I guess I could, like, play a slot machine. I do have quite a bit of money, so if I ran across a slot machine, I could get, like, pretty flies or something like that. But overall, even though I got hit a couple times there, very, very easy boss fight for the most part. And we do get a tears up as well, which is more damage. So that's great. And we proceed into the Mom's Heart fight. And I don't know how I got hit against the, what do you call them? The whatchamacallits, the shooting eyes. I got hit twice against them. Oh my goodness. That's probably just attributed to my terrible, terrible speed at the moment. I am pretty slow, and that's probably the only reason I got hit against those eyes. Getting hit again, oh my goodness. I cannot avoid the hits. The hits are just coming in thick and fast, like, I don't know, butterscotch pudding. And, yeah, but I should, like, since this fight is quite long, I hopefully will get at least one Book of Revelations recharge, which is pretty much the only thing keeping me alive at this point. And also my Guardian Angel blocking a lot of tears for me, but not enough. Again, kind of wish I would have gotten a death last room. Although, like, with the way I've been playing this run, I probably would have taken, like, 500 hearts of damage on death and died. Well, I mean, I can't take 500 hearts of damage, obviously. I don't even know what happened there. I was trying to move to the left, but for some reason the game decided, nope, and moved me not to the left. But I took out those knights pretty easily, which is a small moral victory. And yeah, I mean, this Mom's Heart, again, it's Mom's Heart. It's not really the most difficult thing in the world. We've all seen this fight many, many times before. I mean, I have a showcase of Mom's Heart fight pretty much almost every single video on the channel as of yet, but I will be going down to the Isaac fight, you know, not really looking in as great of a situation as I had hoped. Like, I was doing pretty good on health until I ran into that Gertie Jr. room, and then I decided to lose a whole ton of health on Loki too, even though that's, you know, one of the easiest bosses in the entire womb. I want to keep a respectful distance from our good friend Chubb here. Unfortunately, that distance was not enough to not get hit by him. And it's so close. It's so close to being dead, although all my soul hearts are now pretty much gone. And Mom's Heart looks like she killed Chubb for me, which is kind of nice. You know, I'll take it. I'm not going to be upset by that or anything. I don't know how I managed to escape all that damage there. Hey, we get a health upgrade off of Mom. It's pretty rare. Doesn't usually happen, but we'll proceed up to the cathedral and try our best to make something of this. I don't know if I want to make a beeline for the secret room or not. I am going to go straight down this way. In hindsight, that's probably a bad idea. But I'm basically like saying, I think the Isaac fight has a fair chance of being down this direction, but pretty much the only way I'm actually going to win against Isaac is if I play out of my mind good, which, you know, never really happens. And I'm going to have to, you know, just like avoid taking damage somehow, stop taking damage, because the damage has been real during this entire run. I think a lot of that can be attributed to the fact, like, I have pretty bad speed, and I think I've been hit quite a few times because of my bad speed. That's, you know, kind of making me feel a little bit better about my play. And, yeah, I mean, it definitely hasn't made it easy on me. I can say that much for sure. But we do come across, what, is this Daddy Longlegs? I think this is Daddy Longlegs, and kind of the more mechanical looking one is actually Triachnid. I thought he would be dead there. Apparently that was not the case. And hopefully right down here is the Isaac fight. That's my only hope, and it's not the Isaac fight. So what I'm going to try to do is bomb my way out of this room and escape with my skin barely. I only got hit once. I have a lot more health than I should have at the moment, so I don't really know what direction the Isaac fight is going to be. I'm going to try to go down this way, just because I'm kind of hoping that the Isaac fight will be this way, because I want to access the secret room as well. Oh, trio horsemen. This is really, really not looking good at all. Oh my goodness, my speed is so bad. Oh my goodness. This could be the death of me. This room could honestly be the death of me. My speed is so slow, I can't dodge. I've had, what, 4 speed downs this run? I think I've had 3 speed down pills, as well as, you know, the small rock, which is a speed down as well. So all the speed downs, you know, they come back to haunt you. A lot of people don't like having speed in Isaac. They say it makes Isaac harder to control, which is true. But at the same time, you're pretty much witnessing firsthand what happens when you don't have any speed. It makes it dang near impossible to dodge anything. So kind of my only hope right now is that I'll run into a fortune teller machine. And fortune teller machines seem to be at least fairly common, you know, on the cathedral. Every single time I've had a cathedral, I think I've always ran into a fortune teller machine, and I have a lot of money. So if I could run into a fortune teller machine, I could probably get a few good payouts money-wise, or I mean soul heart-wise. If I could get, like, I don't know, 5, 6 soul hearts, because that's 12 hits I can take against Isaac, because I do have the wafer. So this is kind of my plan here. I just need to run across a fortune teller machine, and then I need to, yeah, get a really good trinket, like, I don't know, cancer or the red patch. Since I'm obviously going to get hit during Isaac, the red patch would be a pretty good pickup to get as well. We get a card here. Strength card. I was kind of hoping that would be the world card, but strength, I'll take that too. It's not the worst thing in the world. So what is the worst thing in the world is this room, though. Whole bunch of angel babies and traps, both of which are not very nice to me for the most part. It looks like 2 of the angel babies killed themselves on the traps, though, so well, with my speed, I honestly don't know if I can get through these traps without getting hit. I was able to, so that's a mild surprise. 2 greeds. Oh boy. Oh boy. Greed, not my favorite boss in the game. This guy This guy has ended very many, this guy has taken away very many smiles from my face. I'll say that. Maybe that's getting a little too personal, but basically, this guy has not been very kind to me when it comes to, you know, playing Isaac in general. So I don't think I've even been damaged yet on this room. And of course, just as I say that, it ends up happening. It was inevitable, but I was able to postpone it for a good amount of time. Got hit a couple times here. Oh, my health is just slowly dwindling away. It's slow torture just watching your chances of being able to beat Isaac just dwindle away before your eyes. Like, honestly, if I had the compass, you know, or if I had like the Emperor card or some way to get the Isaac fight immediately upon entering this floor, I probably would have had a pretty good chance. You know, I had full health and like a soul heart entering this floor. Maybe I didn't have a soul heart, I don't know, but I know for a fact I did have full health. And I could have done, you know, I could have done some things with that. And now, you know, I've taken so much damage just because of greed. I probably have little to no chance of winning this run now. So, unfortunately, I have no keys. I would really like to open up that golden chest. Again, I don't know why I struggle so much against greed. I don't know if it's just because of my horrible, horrible speed. I don't know if it's just because of the fact that it's me and I'm not very good at Isaac. I don't know what it is, but there's something about greed that is just absolutely impossible for me. He's like the most difficult mini-boss. Just something about that 3-tier pattern that he shoots out that's so difficult to dodge. So, I don't know what I should be doing here exactly. Should I be, you know, I can't pick up that hard, obviously, but should I be like exploring rooms, trying to luck out and hit myself a fortune teller machine, or should I just go into Isaac with the 6 damage that I can take and YOLOing it, basically? And I think I am just going to do that, because I could go explore rooms, but, well, this run is already an hour long, and let's just be honest, the odds of me actually exploring a whole bunch of rooms and not dying are pretty slim. I think if I do explore a bunch of rooms, I'm just going to end up killing myself, so... and also, I have this good orbital, you know, it's going to block a lot of Isaac's tears. I have the strength card, so I'm doing a lot of damage. The only problem is Isaac, and I do have the wafers, so, you know, Isaac only does half heart of damage against me. When he does end up hitting me, he's only hit me once so far. It's a miracle, I know. Twice now. Okay, that's kind of unfortunate. I should get a Book of Revelations charge fairly soon, if I can, in fact, stay alive long enough for that to happen, but we'll see. So I'm going to just, kind of implore my best elite dodging skills here to try to make this fight last as long as possible. Oh, I also have specular, whatever it's called, scapular, that's it. So if I get down to half a heart, I am gonna heal an entire full red heart, which is, or an entire full soul heart, which is another 2 hits that I can take. So who knows, you know, this actually could end up working out better than I thought. I can definitely say if I do end up winning this run, it's entirely because of the wafer that it ended up happening. There's absolutely 0 chance of that happening without the wafer. So I'm very, very thankful for that. And please give me a charge on my Book of Revelation student battery. Do what you gotta do what I'm paying you for. What else would I be paying you for, man? Alright, so angel babies are out so far. Luckily, it's not one of those complete troll fests where Isaac just spawns a million angel babies. Oh, and times have swiftly changed and it's suddenly become one of those troll fests. Okay, so Isaac is dead. I just need to finish off the rest of these angel babies without dying myself, which, you know, I'm not the best Isaac player in the world, but I think I can probably manage. And who'd have thunk that I would have won that run? You know, just a second ago I was bemoaning my fate, saying, oh my goodness, I have no chance here. And actually ended up winning, so hey, you know, that puts a smile on my face and a tingle in my heart. And we're gonna need 1 or 2 more Isaac runs to unlock the Polaroid. I'm not exactly sure how many, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I can't believe I won that. Entirely the fault of Scapular, and Book of Revelations with this battery is really the only reason why I won. But yeah, I think overall, pretty good run. So yeah, thanks for watching. Farewell.